So stocks are absolutely skyrocketing. It was a fantastic day in the stock market yesterday. The stock market had a great day. My account had all-time highs. It's fantastic, and I like making these videos and looking at how well everything's going. Sometimes it's quite easy to forget how well things are going. So let's have a bit of a reflection day. And as well as that, I'll cover some news that happened yesterday as well. But yeah, for any of you guys that have stuck it out in the last kind of few years in that bear market, you're getting the rewards. I'm getting the rewards, which is absolutely amazing. And that kind of staying around in that bear market, and when so many other channels were quitting YouTube, when so many channels went from being stock market pickers to finance creators, we stayed here, we stayed the course through the bear market. And once again, yesterday was one of those days where you look back and go, wow, what a day in the market. So I hope you enjoy it. Let's get started. So the S&P actually had a pretty decent day. It was up 0.6%. Year to date, it is now up 8.5%, which is incredible. That's a very good start to the year. Maybe too good, but hey, it's getting the rewards in the account. And for me, yesterday was a fantastic day. One of the best days I've had for a while, because 4 of my 5 largest holdings were up mega. So that's why I had a great day yesterday, and for me, my account hit 52-week highs. Hims and Hers up 7% in one day. I mean, those people that were saying Hims and Hers were uninvestable at $3, I mean, they've missed out on a 5-bagger, guys. All that fear, that fear that got to people, and they're missing 5-bagger opportunities in 2 years' time. It's absolutely insane, and I feel like it's probably worth making a video tomorrow or at some point this week talking about Hims and Hers. How did I have the confidence to buy that stock more and more and more as it headed towards $3, and then produce a 5-bagger on the channel, which is insane. To giving these stock picks out for you guys for free, and having 5 of my largest positions having these days yesterday. It's absolutely insane. DraftKings 4% up as well. Your largest holding up 4%. If you're going to have your largest holding and it's up 4%, you're probably going to outperform the market on that day. And DraftKings, I mean, what a performance this has been. Even PayPal's starting to get attraction. This has been one of my top 5 holdings that hasn't really moved that much yet, even though it's a relatively newer position. But even that's starting to going up a little bit now, which is really nice to see. Google, I mean, it had a bit of a choppy time at the last kind of couple of weeks, but some really good news for Google yesterday, should I say. And we'll take a look at what caused the stock to go up that much. But yeah, anyone that didn't have a position in Google, you definitely had your opportunity to buy it there. I think I said on the video only a week ago saying, look, for me it's not low enough to buy, but if I didn't have a position in Google, this would probably be the time that I do take a nibble at it. So yeah, hopefully some of you took advantage of that dip that was going on in Google. But if you do want to join the Patreon and see more exclusive content from me, 2 exclusive videos a week, Discord with 500 members on to talk about stocks, including me, and more regular updates on my 5 positions in the stock market that are absolutely crushing it, then join through the link in the description. Only £5 a month, the price of a pint. It's not bad at all. It's probably why it's the highest Patreon members to subscribers out there on the whole stock market YouTube scene. So yeah, join that if you want to. Now Google had a fantastic day. This is a big move for Google. Up 4% is a big move for Google, and it came off news on Apple. Apparently Apple are going to be looking at allowing Google's Gemini to power the iPhone AI. Now, looking at this kind of makes sense for Apple, because obviously they don't produce their own, and they probably don't want to support someone like a rival like Microsoft and Android. So Google seems like the good alternative for them to go and do this. So I probably say that this is probably true, and there's no talk about how close the deal is or what they're going to pay for it, but I can see this happening. So obviously that will be imagine every iPhone using Google's Gemini. That's going to be some income for Google. I mean, it probably end up paying back. I mean, a lot of people actually don't know this, but Google actually reportedly, never confirmed, reportedly pays $18 billion a year to be Apple's default search engine. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, if they didn't pay anyway, I think most of us would end up using Google. We're not going to end up using Ask Jeeves, are we? So yeah, hopefully, I mean, this might actually start paying back some of the money that Google actually pay Apple to be the default search engine. But yeah, something to keep an eye on. That would be a major win for Google if that does happen. Tesla, we talked about quite negatively on Tesla a few days ago, or was it on Friday? Saturday? No, Sunday. It wasn't even that long ago. We talked about Tesla quite negatively on Sunday and talking about a lot of things that have gone wrong for Tesla, and in particular, a lot of the finance YouTubers that continue to pump up Tesla stock in 2023, even though the financials were deteriorating. fluctuating, and even now a lot of them are going, why is the share price down? Like, it doesn't make sense why it's down. And it's like, look at the profitability. It was amazing to me the amount of people that missed the point of the video. There was a lot of people that didn't see the point of why I was calling that out. I had someone say something on the lines of like, why are you focused on other YouTubers? Because I've got to. I'm in a place of power. I'm in a place of power where if I see someone doing something wrong on the YouTube scene, I've got to use my platform to call them out, because we don't want people going and taking on bad financial advice from people and not admitting there's something wrong. And then someone, the classic kind of blame on skills. Oh, you talked about skills and it's gone down. Like, oh, well, sorry, I wish I could pick 10 out of 10 stocks right. And at the end of the day, the difference between Tesla and skills is, when I last started buying skills? I last started buying skills in 2021. Do you know when the financials started deteriorating on skills? 2021. I did not continue to buy a bad stock, and I did not continue to talk about in a positive way a bad stock. I still owned it, and I did get a big massive burn on it, and it was a big massive wrong pick, and I have come out previously and talked about why that stock had gone wrong, but I did not continue to buy it. I pivoted into new stocks that could potentially make up the returns. Like this one, and that's what we do. That's all about investing. It's crazy. I still see it now today in the comments today. Skills. It's like, oh, come on, man, give me a break. I'd like to see how many stocks you've got wrong in the last kind of couple of years in that bear market. Anyway, going off the point. So Tesla, they had a good day yesterday. They actually raised the prices on some of their cars. They raised the prices on the Model Y. This is a really good sign. I'm not going to lie. Tesla was up today, and I'm not surprised. The big thing that Tesla need to do is see the demand come back, increase the prices, because increasing the prices will increase the profit margins. That's what's killed the stock. And if they can increase the prices, the stock should do well, and the financials should do well. And it kind of shows there's probably some recovery kind of going on in Tesla at the moment. So yeah, this is good news. I said that on Sunday's video, I said that we're probably near the bottom now, judging by the amount of fear and how much they've had to cut prices. And once again, this is kind of an indication that Tesla could be getting towards a bit of a bottom in the stock at the moment, in the stock price and financials. So yeah, good news for Tesla. Anyway, Nvidia actually was pretty flat yesterday. To be fair, it did open up massive, but it gave most of it back. Nvidia, I'm still confused by Nvidia. 74 earnings, 74 times earnings. Okay, it's rich, but 35 forward times earnings. That's not incredibly high. And then you look at the numbers they're doing. 8% growth, EPS to go from $11 up to $22. 2020, that's 2025 numbers. 2026. Saying that, I think Nvidia report quarter's a bit funny, actually, to be fair, saying that. Going to go from 22 to 27, 21% revenue growth. That's still pretty impressive, isn't it? It's not a crazy valuation, is it? I think if they were to hike these numbers up, that's for the 2026, that's where the share price goes on its next run. Nvidia, I always kind of like, I'm very 50-50 on this. I look at this run and going, it's up, this much already. It's what's it up in the last year? 241%. It's up a lot, but it's not a crazy valuation in my point of view. I don't know where I sit. I'm like, is it a bit of a bubble? Is it a bit, run up on the share price? But anyway, what I was going to say is that Jensen Huang actually did a presentation the other day, and he actually announced a lot of new products coming to Nvidia, and I've got to say, it was impressive, guys. It was really impressive. The headlines talked about that they're going to launch a new GPU, and obviously that will be needed for all the AI. There was a lot of other things like graphics cards, and there was something called Groot that launched as well. There was so many things that was going on in this quarter, and I was like, it's pretty impressive where you look at where Nvidia is going and some of the products are launching. It looks good for Nvidia, I'm not going to lie, and I do look at the valuation and I go, you know what, when you look at what they've got in the pipeline in the next 5 years, you can easily see these numbers catching up to this valuation. It's just that it's getting so hard for them to do it. Once you've grown 100% and then you've got to do another 100% growth next year, it's not an easy thing to do with Nvidia. I don't know, I just don't know where I sit with Nvidia. Like, it looks like it should be expensive, but it isn't. And then you look at some of the products they're bringing out. I don't know Nvidia. Let me know what you think about Nvidia. I can't make my mind up on that one. Last one I want to mention though is D-Local. After hours, it had a 20% drop on the share price. If I actually go from where it closed, that's probably the best thing to do. Oh, it's actually picking up on the chart. It was briefly down 20%, and then it did start recovering. I'm going to keep this nice and brief because I'm actually going to be talking about it on the Patreon, so I don't want to give too much away because I'm going to talk about D-Local's earnings on the Patreon. But what I want to say is that there was a drop in the stock price, and I've got to say, if you ever look at the earnings, guys, the growth was 58% year over year. They beat by 14 million. You look at net revenue retention, 149%. Total payment volumes up 55%. I mean, geez. I mean, you talk about a company trading at 21 times forward earnings. I mean, it seems like to me the algos, the algorithms, you might notice this. So when D-Local bring their earnings out, you probably have seen like the stock automatically dropped, and you're like, how has it dropped? Like, I haven't even read the press release yet. A lot of institutions now use algos, algorithms, and bots, and what they do is they scan for the data, and as soon as they pick up the EPS and the revenue, they see if that was a beat or a miss, and they buy or sell on that. That's why you see a lot of the reactions on share prices without actually reading into the numbers that much. And I think what happened is the bots picked up that there was a miss on EPS and then dumped it off, and that's why you saw a bit of a buying up, because then originally, then what happened, is that when an actual human looked at the numbers and looked at the EPS numbers and went, hold on, the EPS went from 0.06 last year to $0.10 this year, so it's a big improvement, and it missed by 0.05, and there was a big FX impact in there, and I think eventually when people started realizing that, they was like, oh, that's actually not that bad. And today, yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised if this actually ends up going into the green. If it doesn't go in the green today, I expect that maybe we'll see that in the coming few days, as people realize we probably shouldn't have sold that stock off those numbers, considering it's 21 times earnings anyway. So yeah, that's the last stock on today's list, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and see you in a bit.